Good afternoon. This is the news at 1 on Independent Television. I am Solomon Aino. The African Democratic Congress ADC has rejected the revised 2027 election timetable released by the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC), warning that the new schedule and requirements under the Electoral Act 2026 could make it almost impossible for opposition parties to field candidates. Speaking as a guest on a cable television current affair program over the weekend, the party's National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi said the ADC's rejection of the timetable flows from its broader opposition to the Electoral Act 2026, which he argued imposed stringent compliance conditions on political parties. He said with the new timetable as released by INEC, meeting some of the requirements will be near impossible to field candidates for the 2027 election. He explained that the new law requires parties to submit a fully digitalized membership register across all 36 states within about 32 days while notifying INEC of their congress or convention. Abdullahi described the provision as booby traps designed to weaken opposition participation, noting that failure to comply could bar parties from fielding candidates in the election. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei died on Saturday following an attack on Iran by US and Israel. In this report, Thomas Sado takes a cursory look at the happening since the supreme leader's life was cut short.
Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, Iran's supreme leader since 1989, was killed in a U.S.-Israel attack on Iran on Saturday, 28 February 2026. President Donald Trump of the U.S. announced his death. An Iranian state television confirmed it hours later on Saturday. Khamenei was killed in an Israeli airstrike on his Tehran compound, according to 4 Israeli security officials. Trump, who earlier said the operation was aimed at toppling the Iranian government, said in a Truth Social post that the attack would continue uninterrupted throughout the week, or as long as necessary to achieve its objective of peace throughout the Middle East and indeed the world. Trump launched the attack after a week-long lobbying by Israel and Saudi Arabia, according to 4 people familiar with the matter. Top security officials were also killed in Saturday's strikes, along with Khamenei's daughter, son-in-law and grandson, marking one of the most significant blows to Iran's leadership since 1979 Islamic Revolution. Following the attacks, Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian declared a 40-day mourning period. He also declared 7 days of public holidays in addition to the 40-day mourning period. The killing also led to protests in neighboring Iraq, which declared 3 days of public mourning. In retaliatory attacks, Iran fired missiles at Israel and at least 7 Arab states on Saturday. The United Arab Emirates, Bahrain and Kuwait confirmed his, while Saudi Arabia, Iraq, Jordan and Qatar said they intercepted missiles. Israel's emergency services reported 1 person killed in a missile strike in central Tel Aviv and more than 100 injured by retaliatory strikes. Thomas Sado, ITV News.
Meanwhile, the federal government of Nigeria has called for restraint and a return to negotiation as U.S. and Israel continue their war with Iran. In a statement on Saturday night, the Minister for Foreign Affairs expressed what he described as deep concern over the violence that has ensued since the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran. Nigerian urged the warring side to avoid action that is likely to intensify hostilities, stressing that this could have potentially grave consequences for regional and global stability. The federal government urged strict adherence to the provision of the United Nations Charter and the Geneva Convention, particularly taking into cognizance the respect for sovereignty, territorial integrity, and peaceful settlement of disputes. Reports have it that Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, his daughter, son-in-law, granddaughter were killed in the U.S.-Israeli strike. A former presidential candidate, Peter Obi, has described what It decries as the growing fixation of Nigerian political class on the 2027 general election, warning that the country is facing a deepening humanitarian and security crisis that demands urgent national attention. In a statement posted on X on Sunday, Obi said it was profoundly disturbing that politicians were preoccupied with electoral strategies while hundreds of Nigerians were being killed and thousands abducted across the country. According to him, communities in several states has continued to suffer violent attack, leaving families in mourning and entire area deserted. He added that more than 25 states across the country have recorded major incidents of violence, including kidnapping, mass shooting, village invasion, and attack on worshippers and travelers. Obi warned that the scale of bloodshed in the country now rivals situation in countries officially at war, lamenting what he described as a misplaced national focus. He criticized political debate centered on power sharing while citizens were struggling to cope with loss and insecurity. And to the world of sports, Victor Osimhen registered a goal and an assist in Galatasaray 3-1 victory over Antalyaspor at the Rams Park. Serge Bowie gave the hosts the lead late in the first half before Benin Republic international Steve Moyne restored parity for Antalyaspor 4 minutes after the break. Galatasaray regained their lead through Lucas Torreira in the 58th minute, with Osimhen providing the assist. The Nigerian international then netted Galatasaray's third 7 minutes from time. And with that report, we call it a wrap on the 1 p.m. news on Independent Television. I am Solomon Aino. Good afternoon.
ITV, certainly the